Hey kids, it's Thursday and I'm Misty Eyez. I'm your queen of the day for queens of the week. And yeah, it's going to get ugly up in here. I have no idea what I'm going to be saying because this... Buckle your seatbelts. Alright, this topic is from Porcelain, and yeah, I'm just going to read it because it's really a tricky question. Alright, so ladies, this is my topic. When life is just too much, everything goes wrong, stress is eating away at you, how do you find yourself again? How do you center yourself to live a happy and healthy life, while balancing two, in some cases more, personalities? What are your tips and tricks on how to step back in and love your life? How do you find yourself? Ugh. I don't even know where to start. But I do know that we've all been there. And she's right. When you're juggling multiple personalities, yeah, it does get tricky. How do you find yourself again? Are you Misty Eyez? Are you psychoanalyzed? Are you... Who are you? Psycho's my sister name. I honestly don't even know where to start with this. Because I don't think there is a right answer. But I will say, in our situation, being we are juggling multiple personalities, you know, Misty by night and a man by the day, and sometimes, at least in the beginning, it was easier when I'm putting on Misty Eyez to think, this is like war paint. You know, I'm just becoming a character. And especially in the beginning, nobody knew who I was in drag. And I did take comfort in that. People still don't know. It's a big transformation still, but now that I've hosted so many public things like street festivals and parades, and most people in Fort Lauderdale at least recognize my voice. If they don't recognize my eyes, or my lips, or my tattoos on my leg, or whatever. There's a lot of things that people are like, hey, that's Misty Eyez. So now my lives are kind of meshed, you know, especially in the beginning I acted much more like, in drag and, hey, as a boy. Now I kind of in the same in or out of drag-ish. But the true question I feel that you're asking is, how do you find yourself when you're lost? And there's a lot of ways that you can be lost. And maybe you broke up and you don't have love anymore. Maybe someone in your life passed away and you feel lost. I remember right after college, I went to beauty school, and my sister, who's 2 years younger than me, my brother that used to live with me is twin, Shane and Sonia. My sister Sonia, she got a brain tumor, and it was right here, between her eyes, and there's no way that they could drill through this bone to get to it. And she was getting ready to get on a plane to go home for Christmas. And she was in California on a missions trip. And when she went to the airport, she collapsed and started puking, and she went blind. Because the tumor, I guess, got so big that it pushed on her eyes, vision or whatever, and she couldn't see. And obviously they wouldn't put her on the plane because she was deaf, not deaf, but she was blind and vomiting. I think she might have been deaf too at the time. Like she lost all her senses and was puking, and, you know. Anyways, they took her to the hospital, and with the x-rays and things, they found out she had a brain tumor right here. And the only way to go in and operate was to go this way. Which means they had to go through her entire brain. And I hadn't been talking to my mother in a long time. This is the beginning of our long time. But, because I just come out maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe. But we definitely didn't talk. And I remember my mom called me. And she's like, your sister is dying. And I was like, oh God. Okay. And she explained the whole story. Basically, they were going to operate because there was a slight chance they could save her life. But a 99% chance that she's going to die in surgery. And if she survives, she's going to be permanently damaged somehow. So Mom and Dad gave their consent, and they did operate, and it was like literally get the funeral plot, plan her funeral because she's dying. But there's a chance. And of course we're Christians, and you know, through ministry we had all of ORU praying, and we had, you know, the ministry that she was helping in California, because she was a sophomore at ORU at the time, and on a missions trip in California, and you know, there's a lot of prayer, and she pulled through. She survived and blah blah blah. But I remember I was at beauty school and I took a picture of my sister. And growing up, we were very, 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 very close, all of us. You know, our ages are very, very close, and we were very, very close. And I had a picture of her, and I remember I was at beauty school cutting people's hair and, you know, trying to interact with clients. And I was very much in a zone, and I would just break down and cry for no reason. And I remember thinking, looking around, and my friends and coworkers and other students and customers were acting like nothing was happening. Like their lives were completely normal. And I remember thinking, screaming inside my head, not out loud, but in my brain thinking, how can you guys laugh when my sister is dying? Like freaking out. I was lost because my sister was dying. Later, my biological father killed himself on my birthday, and I was lost. You know, and recently this year, not too long ago, when I disappeared from the internet, I was very, very lost. Not suicidal, but extremely depressed and extremely like, why? I don't know, it's weird. I'm the type of person that, you know, it's weird because I'm the type of person that is a listening ear for everyone, and it's really hard for me to share things with people. But it's even harder for me to get really close to people because they will hurt me. Somehow, some way, they're going to hurt me. Betray me. And it's really hard for me to get close to people. And after years of not talking to my little brother, he graduated with his master's degree and came to visit, and we had an amazing visit. We did all the emotional and spiritual and rekindling and healing of our relationship. At one of my sister's weddings in the year 2000, I remember he was in the parking lot yelling at me, telling me I was going to hell. Meanwhile, in my heart and in my soul, I knew he was gay. Just like me. But he was making fun of me, and in front of everyone, family, friends, telling everyone that I was going to hell. I'm the queer, I'm the faggot, I'm the homo. That hurt. We rekindled all of that. And I had been so used to having up this wall or this barrier saying that I don't need family. And then here's my brother. He moved in with me, and I thought he was going to live with me forever. We had the perfect relationship. He worked in the daytime, I worked in the nighttime. We only saw each other in passing, really. He was at work while I was asleep, and he was asleep while I was at work, basically. Like, he'd be going to work when I'd be going to bed. And I love him. He was my best friend. He became my best friend. We became very close. And he went through something in his life, and long story short, he gave me less than a month notice that he was moving to Alaska to be with the rest of my family. And it really devastated me. Because I was losing my little brother. I was losing my roommate. I was losing my best friend. I felt lost. And it was really hard for me to find myself again. And I'm telling you this story because I'm not sure how I did it. I think the bottom line would be time heals all wounds. Emotional wounds take much longer to heal than physical ones. Physical abuse, very bad. Emotional abuse, worse. Not saying that I was abused here, but I'm saying emotional things take a lot longer to heal. What did I do to find myself? I think the initial thing that I did was remove myself from personal things. Like, I didn't hang out with a lot of friends. But the second thing I did was really get busy with work. Any job, anything, work, 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 work. If I'm working, I'm busy. My mind's distracted. But at the end of the day, I had to come to terms with it, you know. And I started doing little things around the house. Because I hated this apartment. It wasn't our apartment, it was my apartment. Granted, it's the first apartment that I have ever lived in by myself. I've always lived with people. It's the first apartment that I've ever moved into where I could do whatever the hell I wanted. So I painted every room. Except for the drag room. It's like a closet, so it doesn't need to be painted. Any color I wanted. Because it was my choice. I didn't have to ask my boyfriend. I didn't have to ask my brother. I didn't have to ask my roommate. I didn't have to ask anybody. So that was kind of therapeutic, I guess. But eventually, the thing that I truly had to do to get over and to find myself again was to surround myself with people. Which was painful at first. Meaning I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to go to the movies. I didn't want to have fun. I didn't want to... I don't know. So to find myself again, I think long story short, I think the answer would be get busy in work, find hobbies to entertain yourself, whether it be decorating your house or go to a ceramics class, you know, occupy your mind and brain and thought. But you're going to have to surround yourself with people that actually care about you. And surrounding yourself with the ones that you love and that love you will help you find yourself again. And the hardest part for me is sharing what is bothering me. Why? Why am I sad? It's none of your fucking business. That's really hard. But I do have a group of friends that I ended up spilling and crying and sharing and crying and healing. Did they understand? Maybe not. But they listened. And everyone offered, I'm here if you need me, blah, 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 blah. Of course, I didn't need anyone. But knowing that they were there just in case helped. But back to the multiple personality gig. Misty Eyez. I don't think that in any of my shows ever, I don't think that I let the audience or public know that I was struggling with something personally. None of my jobs hindered from my loss. Because again, I put on my war face. I put on my hi, welcome to whatever. That was probably the easiest thing to do, was just ignore and go into autopilot. I know how to do this, I've done it. Act. Act happy, act fun. I don't know if I'm even answering this question. How to step back in and love your life. I never watch the other girls' videos before I record because I don't want to be led by their answers, but maybe I should have this week. Just to see what they said. I don't know. Yeah, get busy, find a hobby, join a gay men's chorus, join a ceramics class, join a ballroom dance class, pick up extra shifts at work, get distracted, surround yourself by people you love, spill your fucking guts, cry your eyes out. And eventually, it gets easier. And you remember why you love your life. And that's when or how you learn to live your life again. This video is going to be so long, I know. I've talked so many circles around and around myself. I don't even know if I answered the question. I don't think... Basically, what I'm trying to say is there is no answer to this question. You know, you have two choices. Shit or get off the pot. Give up and quit or keep on trucking. And I don't know if it's because I'm a Capricorn. I don't know if it's because, you know, when my mom was 23 years old, she was a single woman with 5 kids. She is a survivor. She is a trekker. As her oldest born, I think I truly got that from her. And it's innate in me somewhere not to give up and to keep going. I can avoid it, I can ignore it, but at the end of the day, I have to deal with it and overcome it. And that is the truest answer I can give. And I hope that makes sense. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this video. Anyways, next week is my topic. And I actually picked my topic before I saw Porcelain's topic. It's a little deep, but definitely not soul-searching. Monogamy. Is this a prehistoric term? Or is it possible to find a committed relationship? Gay or straight, is it possible to find monogamous, 100% committed, faithful companionship? I used to think one way. Maybe I'm starting to think another. Anyways, that's my topic next week, so stay tuned. And this week, Porcelain knocked it out of the ballpark. At least she definitely knocked my brain around. This one. So much for me trying to do short videos. Anyways, that was Misty Eyez for Queens of the Week. Loving you is easy. Bye.